All right, hi there. Good morning, second hour. This is a little bit weird for me because I don't normally shoot multiple videos for multiple classes, but you guys already have gone through your first group video, and we will be continuing to go through this whole thing, our viewing party, when I arrive back on Friday. I don't want to shortchange any of those groups that have already turned in their assignments and things like that, but I want to make sure that you guys are aware that even though I'm not here, I want to continue to kind of push through here. I want to make sure that you guys can kind of keep busy while I'm not here, because anything that we miss more time it means that we push our weekly episodes back, and I don't think that's fair to you guys. I don't think that's fair really to the public either. So I wanted to kind of shoot this video to kind of explain my expectations over the course of the next couple of days, and hopefully allow you guys an opportunity to start working here independently, alongside of some different techniques using the idea of green screen. I've already kind of walked through 6 hours through some of this stuff, so I have to apologize if it seems like I'm rushing this, or maybe I overlook some things. But I want to just make sure that you guys are aware of where you need to go first and exactly what you need to do once you get there. All right. If you're watching this video, odds are you've already made it to Edmodo, and as you can see here on the screen, there's a couple files here that I want you guys to be responsible for downloading. First of all, there is a video file with no sound, but a simple video file of a sun rising, or depending on which way you're watching it, maybe falling or sun setting. That's how it is. It's not sun falling, it's sun setting. Either way, I want you to download this sunrise time-lapse HD.mp4 video to your computer and get it on the iMovie, because we're going to be working exclusively with that video clip as a title card for your green screen demo reel that you guys are going to be creating during green screen demo days. Once you guys download that, I want to kind of tell you guys to pump the brakes a little bit, because as you can see directly below it is a YouTube video that I want you guys to be responsible for. I want you guys to watch this video. I want you guys to understand some of the things from this video, and to hold you guys accountable for it, I am going to place a quiz along with this video for tomorrow's class, just to make sure that you guys watched the video and you understand what's going on. Now, when I showed this video in the past, I kind of was able to pause and talk about specific things. I'll just tell you guys up front that I don't think you guys need to watch the full 17 minutes worth of the video here. The information that I'm going to quiz you guys over, or the information that I'm going to ask you guys about, doesn't really have a lot to do with every single second, but more about the summary of what green screen is. Now, I can kind of walk you guys through this, and it's narrated rather fairly. There's some information that no matter what, it's not going to be interesting. It's just kind of scientific. But on the other end, there is some stuff here that I think every one of you guys should be well aware of, and actually comfortable, considering you guys are already coming from a Photoshop background. Now, with that said, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to pause the video, and I want you guys to stop and take some time to watch this history of faking it, an evolution of the green screen, and come back to my video, because I'm going to then step you guys through the first little bit of the film itself. All right? Alright, welcome back. So you had a chance to kind of go through the video. I know it was thought-provoking, it was amazing, and hopefully at this point you've got a little bit better understanding about what green screen really is. It's just this idea and this notion that we can put sort of like an overlay or a layer mask on video, and anywhere where there's green, we can allow it to be seen through, or we can see underneath. Anywhere where it's not green, it'll show through. And I think a great way to start working with this is to make a title card, a card that will come up at the beginning of our demo reel that'll kind of say what it is that people are watching, green screen demo reel. But behind it, we're gonna see video playing. What video, you ask? It's that sunrise video that you guys already downloaded at the beginning of the day. Now, I want to urge you guys that throughout this demonstration, if I'm speaking too fast or you missed a step here or there, pause the video. You have control over this. You have control of how fast this goes, how quickly it goes. Make sure you do that to make sure you're hitting on all the specific ends that you need to be hitting on. Now, the software that we're going to be using to create this title card is a software that isn't necessarily a, what should I say, a video editing software, but when you think about it, it's kind of interesting because it could be used to edit a video. The software that we're going to be using, if I go up here to my search bar, is called Keynote. Now, Keynote is an application that Apple came up with to rival PowerPoint. All Keynote is a different software to make PowerPoint slide presentations. On my computer, I have 2 of these because I actually did the update. You guys are only going to have 1. And I want to show you that the icon that you need to be clicking is the one that looks like a wooden podium with some note cards on there that a presenter could be talking about. You can go ahead and click and drag that, or just type in Keynote and select that. And this is the application that we're going to be using to actually make this title card. Now, as I don't know, did it click? Maybe not. Okay, as I click this and Keynote has an opportunity here to open up on my computer, I'll give you guys a little bit of background here. All right. Typically, we know slideshows as being that thing that, you know, a teacher puts up on their board, and they kind of go through the process of clicking the slide with their mouse or clicking the slide with a remote control, and whatever pops up is whatever pops up. That action of clicking the button, either mouse or through a remote, is technically the same thing that you guys would have when you're working with a video. The only difference here is that person is controlling the video, whereas what we're about to make is going to be controlled through an actual video control. Now, the first thing that pops up when you get Keynote open is this little theme chooser, and this is, I don't know, kind of a gimmick, but I think it's nice for people who aren't really comfortable with how to work software. It basically shows you the different themes that it has, the different layouts and things like that. And for a PowerPoint slide, some of these are actually pretty cool. For what we're going to be working with, we'd typically only be using either a black background or a white background, just to kind of make it a little bit different here and understanding exactly what kind of video color-wise you've got that's going to be playing behind it. I want to switch this up. I want to select the white background. I want to have a slideshow that has a white background. But before you click OK, I want you guys to go down to the bottom here where it says slide size. Now see, on the new version, it simply just asks you whether or not you want this to be widescreen or standard. We need a resolution that matches the rectangular shape of a smartphone screen or an iPad or a computer screen. And that can be done right here in the slide resolution tab right down here. Matter of fact, 1280 by 720 has already been selected on my computer because I did this with a previous hour, but you guys might have 800 by 600 selected. Make sure whatever it is number-wise that you've got the proper measurement. And I'm going to go in there and make sure, there we go, 1280 by 720 is selected. That's a rectangle. That's a widescreen format. Now that we've got white selected and we've got the right measurement, you can go ahead and click the choose button, and it's going to go through the process of creating a blank slide for you. And we're going to have some text boxes, that we're going to be able to type in really, really quickly. Now, there is an issue here. I mean, obviously, my computer is not only running video right now, but it's also running this slideshow. So some of the things might work a little bit faster on your computer, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. But once you get this up and open, it should look like a PowerPoint presentation, right? What I want to do here, quick, in the first box, is simply type out the word green screen, and then in the box below it, I'm going to type demo days. Actually, you know what? Take the demo days away. Let's put demo real. All right? Now, I got to talk to you guys, and I got to be honest. This font that I selected here, or the font that you're selecting, is going to play a really important role because right now it's showing up as black words, black letters on a white background. But green screen, if you watch the video, you'll know green screen doesn't work with the color black. The color has to be green, which means we are going to change the font color of these words to green, But more importantly, we have to change the font size so that it's big enough for us to be able to see through the letters. And you can do that on Keynote right at the top. Right here at the top where it's got the drop down menu, you can type in a number. I'm going to zoom out here and choose a number that I think fits, maybe like 100. Now it still looks kind of small, maybe 150. That's starting to look good. Maybe if I bold it, right? Oh, okay, well that's really good, but unfortunately I lost the word screen, so maybe I'm going to chop this down to 145. Now screen still isn't in there. Let's say maybe 130. There we go. I finally got green screen all in there in 130 size font. But the other thing that I want to explain to you guys is because this is a computer program where you have a collection of fonts, you're not just limited to the font that it automatically starts you off with, Gill Sans or Helvetica or Arial for that matter. You can click and choose any font that you have installed on your computer or any font that you go out and you find and you download and then install on your computer. Matter of fact, I know I've got a really cool font down here. It's called Road Rage. Let me go in here and find it. No, not there yet. There it is, Road Rage. Look how cool that is, right? I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm going to select this font for the word demo reel, and what I'm going to do now is improve or increase that size to something that makes it look a little bit larger. Now, it's in the box, but the box is kind of cutting it out, so I'm going to click on the handlebars here and actually make the text box a little bit larger. And from here, maybe I can come in here and go 150. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. That looks pretty good here. So I've got the word green screen and I've got demo reel all set up here. Pretty good, right? The problem is it's not green. So before we save this, before we change anything, we actually have to change the font color to green. Up here next to the size, you've got a little box that we can click. Now the unfortunate part to this is the way this first starts up, you can see you've got this like grid of a million different shades and tints of green. This can kind of be confusing because, well, do I select that green? Do I select this green? Which color green do I want? To make this easy on you, click the Show Color button. And if I zoom out here, you'll see that a little menu pops up. All right. The green that you're going to select is simply this fluorescent green here. And to make sure that you get that selected, click on the little Eggo option up here, the little icon that looks like a little mini Eggo waffle. And you can see that this takes off all the concern for you, it takes off all the worry. You just have one color green here that you have to worry about, and you're good to go. So I've got green screen there. I'm going to do the same thing to demo reel. That looks pretty good. I think everything will be able to be seen through that font pretty well. I can bring it in and I can kind of play around with it, but I don't want this to just be stuck on the screen. I want there to be sort of some animation to it. I want there to be something interesting, and a lot of people don't really know this. One of the benefits to PowerPoint was that, one, it also not only, put your information up on the screen, but it also animated the information on your screen. Check this out, all right? I'm going to click on the text box green screen, and there is a little box here that's already open. Now on your computer, this little box might not be open. So let me close this and show you how I got that little screen. Up in the top right hand corner, do you see this I button, the inspector button? If you don't have that box that previously popped open, go ahead and click that and it will appear. Now the interesting thing here is this is where we can have some fun controlling the effects of not only the slide, but the stuff on the slide. We can animate elements that are on this slide or the whole slide together. For example, up in the top, I've got this little icon that looks kind of like a window. That's actually the slide itself. And I can change the effect. For example, maybe I want this to, I don't know, I'm going to come in here. These are kind of weird. I'm going to use the one that says twist. Well, you'll notice up in the screen, all right, my whole slide twists on and twists off. The more and more I look at that, I'm not really sure if I like that. Maybe I'm going to use something a little bit better like, I don't know, wipe. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. That wipes the whole thing in. I don't know, maybe shimmer. Ooh, fancy, right? You can choose anything that you want, but what's really important here, once you find the effect that your slide has, you need to make sure that this option right here that says Start Transition doesn't say on click, but says automatically. The problem is we're not going to use PowerPoint with a mouse. We're using PowerPoint to make a video, and there's not going to be anybody sitting with a mouse to click the button. So this needs to say automatic instead of, on click. Now I'm going to zoom out here to show you guys that I can sit there and look at the way my screen's going to pop up, but I can also change the way these text boxes are going to show up. I can change the elements on my slide by clicking this little yellow rectangle or square that looks like it's moving. And here I can choose any one of the options that are available. Any of the elements that are on my slide. So for example, the green screen box. And here I can choose little animations like, for example, bouncy or convergence. I don't know, that's a really big word, but that's what convergence looks like. I can select cube and it rotates in, or drift, right? And there it goes. Flash bulbs, or where did it go? Flame. That sounds crazy, right? Boom, flame. Okay. Either way, this is how the animation is going to show up, and to follow along with my clicking, okay, build in. The delivery here, for some reason, it is not. There we go. It's not available right now, but that could be for the reason because I selected flame. Now I'm going to keep it there and I'm going to click on demo reel, and this time I'm going to click a different one. Let's use, I don't know, scale bigger. This one seems really cool, right? So what does that look like? Okay, that just has like the letters kind of float onto the screen. Now here we go. Notice here my delivery task says all at once. I don't want it necessarily to be all, yes I do, I want it to be all at once, but I want to make sure that it's running forward as well and that it automatically starts every time. So I can kind of play this video by going up to the top and watching a preview of my slideshow. So I'll click play slideshow, and here's my next slide. Oh, it's popping up on my other screen, I'm sorry. Let's exit out of that. I can't really show you that because it's popping up on my other screen, but it's showing me everything happening in its specific steps. On you guys, since you're only working with one screen, you can kind of preview that and see what it's going to look like. So we made this little title card here with green font and some little animations, but we need to make it into a video. We need to do something with this. At the top of your screen, you notice how there's this option that says share. You're going to click this, and you're going to scroll down to the last option that says export. Boom, there it is, export. All right. Now, obviously, you can see up here that Keynote has different ways that you can export it. You can export it to Microsoft PowerPoint. You can export this as a PDF, something that would get printed up. You can export it as just a regular image or a web page or something that, oh my gosh, would work on an iPod. It's hilarious. This is how old that software is. It shows you a screen of an iPod. You guys probably don't even remember what those are. Regardless, you don't need to worry about any of these options because QuickTime is already selected. We're going to go down to this option right here that says Playback, Manual Advanced, and we're going to say Fixed Timing. That means we won't need anybody to click the next slide. We're just going to use the timing structure to work on its own. This is where you have the opportunity to say how long do you want this screen to be? How long do you want this video? I'm going to have you guys do this at a 7-second duration. See? 7 seconds. Now build is just how long do you want those animations, and I think probably a good number for here is 3. So 7 seconds long and 3 seconds for your animations to actually happen. We're not going to do anything with the repeat, but I do want to make sure that here I have the largest quality possible for this because I want to make sure that this looks good on my screen, and as it is right now, full quality large is ready to go. So I'm good to go to click the next button, and another little dialog box will pop open in a second here. There it is. It's going to ask me, okay, what do you want to call this? Well, I'm just going to call this green screen title card. And like normal, I'm going to save it to my desktop, but I think it's also a good idea to make a backup and save this on your USB flash drive. I'm going to click the export button, And in the background here, you can see I've got like a little timer showing me a preview of how everything's going to pop up here. And once this whole thing has been rendered or the clip has been exported, I'll have this baked version of a movie file that I can now bring into iMovie. Why don't you guys pause the video here and make sure that all the steps work the way that they're supposed to work, all right? All right, welcome back. So good timing here. It sounds like next door they're deciding to build on another wing, so I wanted to wait and make sure that drilling stopped over there. But I also wanted to make sure that my screen was up and ready so that you guys could see the next few steps. Now, I apologize. This right here, this clip that you guys are looking at is actually a clip or a version of what you guys are going to be making. So as I kind of move my timer bar here through a previous demo reel, I want to kind of explain to you that this is what you guys will have by the end of this demonstration in about 4 to 5 days worth of time. But remember, iMovie is kind of fickle because it doesn't have a save as button, so every time you open up iMovie, it's going to go to the last project that you had. You're going to have to click the project's back button first, okay? And you can see on my screen I got a ton of videos here, right? I'm going to create a new video, and the new video that I'm going to create is going to be a movie. Now, it's going to ask me right here in the middle, where do you want to grab the media from? Well, the media I've already created, and it's on my desktop, so I can go and click the Import Media button, and a window will pop open saying, okay, where's all that information at? I think I've got my sunrise clip right there. I'm going to say import that one. And I've got another video here that I would like to drag and drop. There it is right there, the green screen title card, right? This guy is going to get dragged and dropped straight into iMovie as well. Click and drag that. And there it is, 20 seconds. Holy cow, that's a little bit longer than what we expected. Why is that? Oh, I know, because each one of these animation takes some time too. So we might have to trim that down a little bit. Let's watch how to do this. Now, to do the green screen effect, it's actually really easy. What you need to remember here is that the green screen effect is taking place because you're layering video over top of each other. So you need to have 2 layers of video to actually do this. The first layer that we're going to use is going to be the sunset. I'm going to click and drag that down into my timeline, and there I've got a 10-second sunset. Boom, there it is, sunset coming up. Up, 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 up. It looks gorgeous, right? It looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take this green screen, this PowerPoint slide that I made into a movie file, and I'm going to click and drag that. But watch, I'm not going to drag and drop it at the end. Matter of fact, I'm going to drag and drop it directly on top of my previous video. Now, I can't see my sunset, but I can see the green screen demo reel. Now, the only problem that we've got here, if I can kind of zoom out a little bit, is that my green screen clip is actually 19 seconds, but my sunrise clip is a little bit less. It's almost 10 seconds. Now, what I don't want you guys to think is that you just got to trim this, all right? Because if you do that, you might lose some of your animation, all right? What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to speed this up a little bit. How do you speed this clip up? If you go up to the top of your preview screen, you'll see like a little speedometer up here, right? If you click that speedometer, you have the option of increasing the speed. Now, I've increased the speed here, and it's made this clip 6.1 seconds. You've got a little bunny rabbit down there to show you that this clip is going a little bit faster. I can kind of click and drag this just a little bit more and maybe dub down the speed a little bit or stretch it just a little so that I've got full control so that it matches up. Oh, there we go. So that it matches up with the 10 seconds of my sunrise. So I got a 10-second green screen clip. I've got a 10-second sunrise clip, right? This is where all the magic happens, all right? So with the top green screen clip highlighted, you know it's highlighted because it's got the yellow ring around it. Go up to the top of your preview button or preview screen and look for this square overlay button, video overlay button, all right? This is kind of important. When you click on that, you're going to get a drop-down menu here of the various types of overlay styles that you have. Now, obviously, we're going to click on green screen / blue screen, but when I return, I want to kind of walk you guys through the different types of overlay styles that you have and explain the difference between picture-in-picture and split screen and cutaway, because some of these are kind of important. I'm going to click green screen, and here you'll notice now in my preview window, everywhere where there was green, there is now video underneath it that's showing through. Everywhere where there was green, there's video that's showing through. It's a fairly simple process, but something that I needed you guys to see firsthand and be able to walk yourself through the process. Now, a couple people have asked questions in other classes like, well, what if you had a green circle or a green line, or what if you had anything else that was green but it wasn't a font? Well, if it's got the same color green as your font, it's going to be used too. So for example, I can kind of show you here with another green screen that I used. I'll bring this up over here, right? Let me actually turn down the volume because this one has a sound bite to it. But I'm going to bring this in, and you can see all these lines that are there. Those lines were green, and therefore they're showing the sunset behind it. This is what it would look like with a black background. As you can see, you've got a white background. I'm not really too concerned with what color background you use. What I'm concerned about is making sure that your text size is large enough and it's the correct color to allow video to be seen. Now I'm going to sign off here for the day because I think I've done a lot of talking and this video is really, really long. So I'm going to give you guys time in class today to work on it and make a follow-up video Thursday. But this whole film reel is something that you guys are going to have to be building towards. So even if you don't complete this on Wednesday's class period and you got to return to it Thursday, you'll have time because, you know, obviously I'm not here and you're just going to have to play catch up with the rest of your videos, all right? Some of these clips that you're seeing in here are going to be the stuff that you guys can download and create, all right? So I'll sign off, I'll say goodbye and say good luck, and can't wait to see you guys Friday, all right? Bye.